Hey guys, and welcome back to It's Gotta Be Halloween. This year I wanted to do some super easy special effects looks that anyone could replicate, and I wanted to challenge myself to do them with affordable drugstore Halloween makeup. First impression, this is the runniest latex I've ever seen. It's like water, like it's so thin, which might be good. I don't know, but it's like, I poured it on, it was like water. I was expecting like some nice viscosity, but no, just water came out of there. I can't even like hold up my palette because it'll just, we'll see how this goes. I started by stippling a thin layer of latex across my neck and placing some tissue in the latex while it was still wet. Then I sealed the tissue in with another layer of latex. I repeated that several times. So this latex, because it's so watery, as you can see, it dripped onto my shirt. Reminder, latex does not come out of clothes. If you wait till it dries, sometimes you can peel it off. Because this is so watery, I don't really have faith for that. So we'll see if this shirt, my little festive ghost shirt, was destroyed. Yeah. So yeah, don't wear nice clothes when you work with latex, or any clothes that you care about. Pro tip. And I did the same process slightly lower to create the bottom edge of the slit throat. Once everything was dry, I gently peeled up the inner edges to make the wound a bit deeper, and at the edges I used a very small pair of scissors to lengthen the wound. If you are going to use scissors, be very careful or ask for help if it's not somewhere you can easily see. We show up in the party. I applied a thin layer of my everyday foundation over the latex to blend it into my skin. We show up in the party. I ripped up a sponge to create an irregular surface, then used it to pat a bit of red grease paint over the wound to simulate the skin being irritated. Then I stippled a deeper red grease paint right at the edges of the wound. I filled in the wound with the bright red grease paint. Then I lined the upper and lower edges with the deeper red and blended it into the brighter red for a bit of dimension.
This is the emergency broadcast system. The CDC is advising that you stay in your home.
I applied blood to the interior of the wound and placed a few strategic drips for some visual interest. With special effects makeup, remember not to cover your work in blood. Let the work speak for itself. Blood should just be an accent. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. For the Glasgow smile, I used the same technique of stippling latex and placing a bit of tissue between each layer. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. To create the wounds, I pulled the latex up from my skin a bit and then carefully cut it. We show up in the party. Then I applied my foundation over the latex. I stippled dark red grease paint over the latex and slightly over the surrounding skin. I filled between the latex with bright red grease paint, then lined the upper edge of the wound with dark red grease paint so the wound looked deep. Then I finished it off with a bit of fake blood in the wound and stippled around it. I carefully stippled a few layers of latex on my eye socket, making sure to avoid my lashes and eyebrow because latex and hair do not mix. Once dry, I peeled up the edges. I popped a little paper eye patch inside the latex edge and secured it down with lash glue. Then I built up the edge a bit more with some latex and tissue. I concealed the color of the latex with foundation. I blacked out my eye patch with some grease paint, but you could always just use black paper. I just only had pink. I added irritation to the wound with deep red grease paint. Then I added some drips of blood as well as some just around the wound. And these are the finished looks. It honestly was a bit of a challenge to work with more limited materials, but I wanted to use things that anyone can get their hands on this time of year. If you like these looks, definitely give this video a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more Halloween looks with this drugstore makeup, let me know in the comments. Congratulations, you have made it to my end screen. Click that top link to check out my last video, or click that bottom link to watch last year's Halloween videos. And if you want to make sure you don't miss a single video from me in the future, click that little circle with my face in it to subscribe.